Alright, what's up guys? It's Aaron from HowTosByBros and Teens Really Matter, and today I'm just going to be sharing my testimony. So, yeah, I've grown up in a Christian home. I grew up with my dad as an alcoholic and a drug user. So, growing up, it was not easy being around that, but you know, my mom was a strong Christian, so that helped out a lot. I got saved when I was 3 years old. I started sharing my faith at a very young age, and I was just like excited about the things of God at a very young age. And but I still didn't find my purpose for a while, so I was still just kind of searching. And fast forward, when I was about 12 years old, or around 10 to 12 years old, I got into like doing pranks, and like just little pranks, like for example, like putting poop under somebody's tire, something like that. It sounds stupid, but it really was just like a meaningless life. Like I felt like so empty doing it, and I didn't find any purpose in it and any fulfillment in it. And so it sounds really like not a big deal, but it was to me, and it was like it was kind of eating me up inside. I'm just like, why am I doing this? This is like pointless. Like, why am I even like alive? Like, and so long story short, I got into masturbation, and felt even more empty with that. And I was just just going through life, just feeling empty, doing pranks, and like I said, and so long story short, or fast forward, when I was 15, I went to a Young Life camp. What Young Life is basically, it's basically a camp where you learn about God. And I asked the leader there, I remember asking one of the leaders at Young Life, like, hey, does reading the Bible really help your, like, what does reading the Bible do, basically? I kind of asked him, and he was like, yeah, reading the Bible's changed my life, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I didn't believe him. I was like, yeah, right, that's not gonna help me in my life. It's just an old book. I started getting into the Word. I started diving in the Word every day, and my life changed dramatically. I stopped the masturbation. I started just pursuing Jesus again and really following Jesus. And so that was when I was 15 to about 18, was just like some of the best years of my life. Like, it was just awesome, just pursuing God. I still struggle with a lot of insecurities and stuff, because I was small for my age, and so I struggled with that insecurity, and I just was insecure about a lot of things still. But those were some good years where I was following Jesus. Now, when it came to when I was 18, I graduated high school, and I had a lot of pressure, I guess, on me. I was kind of like, I put a lot of pressure on myself, like, what am I going to do with my life? I was stressing out. I also wanted to talk a little bit about my depression. So I went through 6 months of depression where I was just believing lies of the enemy, that I was worthless, and just believing all kinds of lies. So I just encourage you guys, don't believe the lies of the enemy. If I was stressing out, and I was just not sure what my purpose was still. And then I went to a DTS when I was 19, and that DTS changed my life. It's called YWAM. It's Youth with a Mission, and that was a 5-month trip that I did about 2 months ago, and basically it changed my life. It was just amazing. Like, so it's 3 months of training about on being a missionary, basically 3 months of training, and then 2 months of outreach, which was amazing. And on that outreach, I found that I wanted to share the gospel and travel. Like, I had a passion for traveling, not only, and sharing the gospel. So after that DTS, and on that DTS, I just found so much fulfillment and so much joy and so much purpose in sharing the gospel, that I came back home, and I'm just like, Evan, I want to share the gospel. My brother Evan, I want to share the gospel on HowTosByBros. Like, nothing, like I'm just thinking, like, this is pointless doing how-tos and not sharing my real life and not really just sharing the gospel, which I was really passionate about. So, I just kind of was like, Evan, I want to share the gospel, and he didn't agree with that, so we kind of parted ways. He still makes videos with us, but now on How To's by Bros, I share the gospel, and at the end of every how-to, or at least like a verse at the end of every how-to, and I get like Christian guys to just, followers of Jesus, pursuing Jesus, to do how-to videos and share the gospel at the end. And it's just really exciting. I'm just so like, I finally found a purpose, and not only that, on that missions trip I found a purpose, and I'm pursuing my goal of just traveling and preaching the gospel. That's all I want to do, is just travel and preach the gospel. I want to see the world, and I want to preach the gospel, and that's where I find purpose, and that's where I find fulfillment, is preaching the gospel and find joy in that. And so now we're sharing the gospel at the end of how-to videos, and that's what I'm doing right now. And a verse that's comforting for me is Proverbs 16:3. It says, "Commit your work to the Lord, and He will establish your plans." And he showed that verse to me, and I was just like, I was so comforted, because I know God wants me to work on this YouTube. I'm committing my work to the Lord. And any of you guys struggling with what to do after high school, just commit it to Him. Like, you might not find your passion as soon as you get out of high school, but keep looking for it and just keep following God, and He's just gonna fulfill you. That He's the only thing that satisfies, really. And so I realized that, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. I just love sharing the gospel, and I love making how-to videos, and that's kind of why I'm doing How To's by Bros now. Is just, I find fulfillment in preaching the gospel and seeing other people's lives changed by the gospel of Jesus Christ. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I just want to encourage you guys to just follow Jesus. Like I said, He's the only thing that can ever satisfy. And yeah, so that's pretty much my testimony. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys.